Hey there, Transformers. Welcome to our Thursday Facebook Live. And today we are going to be exploring how you can stand your ground with grace. So, one of the things I hear time and time again, especially as I'm teaching and talking and coaching around boundaries, is this whole idea of if I set boundaries, won't it look like I'm selfish? If I set boundaries, won't people think I'm a bitch? If I set boundaries, won't people think I'm mean? And I want to support you in being able to reframe this. Hey, Jen. Hi, Yvette. Welcome. I want to be able to support you in reframing this because so many of us, first of all, what I'll first share is the number one reason we don't set boundaries is we don't know what to say. And when we don't plan out what to say, we are more likely going to come across as aggressive or as defensive or in some way not in a graceful way. So I want to support you in being able to set boundaries that stick and hold your ground with grace so that you're coming from the place of gratitude instead of excuses. So that you're coming from the place of grace instead of from the place of apologies. So I want you to remember that it's not your responsibility to manage someone else's response to your truth. So if you are sharing what's true for you, standing your ground with grace, again, not from a place of being contentious, not from a place of being disrespectful, not from a place of being antagonistic, but if you're simply stating what's true for you and standing in your truth, that's actually the most important thing you can do. And then how someone else responds to that truth is theirs to manage. So again, we don't want to cross our boundaries going into someone else's territory to manage their experience of you or to begin managing and manipulating and trying to control their emotions. So listen, if you've been with me a while, you know I am all about reclaiming our selfishness. I'm on the bandwagon of saying, our selfishness, our self care, self love are all here, three sisters to support us in honoring ourself. And so, anything you can do to continue to bring the attention and the focus back on you and what you need, as opposed to what you might need to say or do to make everything okay for someone else. Especially as we are, getting ready to move into the holiday season, especially as we're navigating the pandemic and COVID and the boundaries that are arising, checking in with what feels okay for us, even if what feels okay for us is different than what feels okay for the people around us. Maybe all your friends and family are getting together for the holidays and you still feel that that's not something you want to do. How do you stand your ground with grace instead of caving and instead of initiating some kind of antagonistic defensive argument or conversation? So it always will begin with coming back to honoring and locating yourself and what you need. How can I amplify my own needs so that I'm taking myself into account first instead of orienting toward everybody else and taking them into account first? This can be a really big redirect. If you have been living your life other referenced, if you've been living your life in a way where you're constantly checking in with everyone around you first, this is a reorientation and this is the invitation. And this is the key of the foundation of standing your ground with grace. So let me just say quick hellos over here. Yep, so true. Yep, Jen. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Rosemary. Grace versus defense. Yep. Grace versus apology. Yep. I'm a big proponent of really checking ourselves around our apologies, especially women. We want to come in with an apology for our no, for example. And so, it's credited to many people, but there is the expression no is a complete sentence. And so we want to be able to say no with grace and gratitude without excuse or apology. We don't need to apologize for what's true for us. Hi, Anna. Hi, Renee. You love my shirt. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Um, let's see. So, I really want you to start thinking about how you are identifying around standing your ground. So, again, if you relate to it as, people will think I'm selfish, people will think I'm a bitch, people will think I'm mean, people will think I'm rigid, notice what comes up for you. Notice if you're relating to your boundaries as restrictive and constrictive and restraining, because I am all about you shifting to the place where you see your boundaries as expansive. Setting boundaries will set you free. And what I mean by that is, when you know what freedom is for you, consciously creating your container of how you want to live and how you want your life to be, those boundaries that keep you intact, the boundaries that keep you in check, the boundaries that keep you in integrity and in right relationship with yourself, those are the boundaries that are going to lead you to the freedom that you're craving. Hi, Paula. Welcome. So, again, especially as the holidays are coming upon us, it's an unusual year. Things are going to feel different for different people. You're probably already experiencing this. I know I am in my own life. I'm seeing some people feel fine about being out and about. Some people want to, stay secluded and hold up. And here's the deal. Everyone is entitled to his or her own way that she is choosing to proceed. And therefore, you are entitled to your own way that you choose. Hi, Alan. Rather than feeling bad about missing family at Thanksgiving, I reorganized it. Great, exactly. I know, so Passover is my family's big holiday, and that was in the spring, right when the pandemic hit. And we had our first Zoom Seder, and it's probably looking like we'll have a second Zoom Seder next year. And there were many silver linings around being able to do it that way too. So instead of focusing on the negative, instead of focusing on what you're missing, see what you can do to reframe and create a new tradition. See what you can do to reorganize and what new offering can come in. Jennifer, all I want to do is be in nature right now. It's my only mental peace. How do we determine boundaries versus trying to escape? So the way I define boundaries are the limits you set for yourself around what you will or will not do, tolerate, or accept. The escape comes from when you're actually trying to avoid feeling or dealing. So is nature a strategy that you're employing so that you can avoid? Is nature an avoidance strategy for you, or is nature something that is actually nurturing you and restoring you and resourcing you? And always asking yourself the question, what is it that I don't want to deal with or feel? And if you can get into the nut of that, there is great data for you. So that's how you can know if it's escape versus boundaries, for example. The boundaries are around something that is non-negotiable. For me, my hiking out in nature is a non-negotiable. It's not an escape. It's something that I know I need to do for myself to actually be at my best. If you're afraid that, for example, being out in nature for you is an avoidance strategy, simply ask yourself the question on your way out the door, what is it that I don't want to deal with or feel right now? And see what comes. Hi, Linda Y. Boundaries give me more space and a great funnel for seeing relationships truthfully. I couldn't agree more. Hi, Rita. Yes, I'm excited to record with you on Saturday as well. Rita and I are recording a podcast. Um, awesome. Ellen, you too, Zoom Seder. Yep. So there's Zoom Seders. There's going to be Zoom Thanksgivings. There's going to be probably, Zoom Christmas, Zoom New Year's, who knows what. And it's really more about you doing what feels okay for you and not orienting toward what someone else wants of you or wants from you, but what actually feels most in alignment and right relationship for you. So that is how you simply stand your ground with grace, without apology, without excuses, and remembering that you are here to live life on your own terms in accordance with what's true for you. And someone else's response to your truth is theirs. That's not something that you need to take on. All right, so I really want to encourage you, spend this week paying attention to your choices, paying attention to your yeses and your nos. Again, this is the standing your ground with grace. If that knee-jerk yes wants to come in, take the pause. Take some time to actually consider, is this something I want, or am I making a choice based on what someone else wants of me or for me or from me? And really start to reinforce in yourself the confidence and the courage to be able to stand your ground with grace. Hi, Aura. Good to see you live today. Thank you for boundary setting for calmness. Oh, good. You're very, very welcome. You're very welcome. So, yeah, that's your mission. If you choose to accept, move forward, standing your ground with grace, knowing your boundaries, curating the content of your own life with your choices and your actions. Okay, thanks for being here with me today, and I will be back here again with you next week. Bye.